Hi fellas. Yep, I know this is a picture of an airplane, not of a spreadsheet. But I'm opening up this way because I wanted to show you all something. I'm sure most of you already know this, if not all of you. When you open up the training video that I'm putting together for the spreadsheet, the first thing you want to do is go down here to the little wheel on settings where it says quality. Click on the little drop down window and go all the way up to 720p HD. That way you'll get the best quality of the video and be able to see actually what I'm working on. Okay, here's the actual spreadsheet, and if you when I send it to you, why double click it and open it up in Excel, and the very first thing you want to do, which most of you probably already know, is to go up, do a save as, and you can save it as whatever, probably Excel workbook, and save a copy of this. And you'll want to save it in your, as you can see here, in your My Documents folder. You may have to click over here to get in My Documents. Save it and call it your template is the best thing to call it. Series worklet template, and you might put in here do not erase or something, because this is the one you don't want to type stuff in it and save it and write over it, then it'll be gone. You want to save a copy so you'll have a copy to work in, and then you'll have the template saved. So save like a, call it master, do not copy or something, and then you can load it every time, but then do a save as, and then put your date in, like what you would do if this is for the next season. You'd want to get rid of template in here and go over here and put season 1 2014. And that way you'll know what it is. It's the worksheet for Delora oval season, yada yada yada. So we're going to save that. Oops, I already got one like that. Don't want to do that. So let me put test, since this is our demo, since I'm demoing it. All right, you see here now, this is the one we're working in. So let me move this down a little bit so you can see the whole enchilada. And here's the way this works. I know this looks like a lot, but the way this is going to work is there's going to be one for the Delora, one for Class B, one for the Legends car, one for the Silver Crown, one for Corvette, so on and so on. And what we have is everything that's in green, which is this and this, is what I input. These are figures that I get from iSpeed, and it shows the fuel usage per gallon. This 999 is one, I put that in so it shows up as 0, showing I haven't done that one yet. But this is what we use to do a lot of our calculations, and I've got this from running laps in iSpeed. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what tracks you want to run at. And we've got most of them on here, and we can add more in, but this should cover just about everything. And let's say you wanted to run Charlotte in the first week. So you just click on this square, put 1. And you wanted to run Homestead the second week, Darlington the third week, and Kentucky the fourth week. Okay, you get the idea how that works. The next thing, once you get all 12, then you know what races you're going to have. The next thing you want to figure out is how many laps is the race going to be. And that's I forgot to mention, everything in orange is what you need to input. Everything in green is what I input, and white is more results. So the orange is what you're going to be inputting. So let's say Charlotte's 1.5 miles, And a lot of times we usually race about 40 laps on a mile and a half. When you put this in, hit enter, it calculates how many miles that race is going to be. And in the past, I've liked to keep races around 60 miles. That way they're not too long and they're not too short. And so this will help you put in, let's say Darlington, you don't really know. Let's say you put in 80 laps. Yeah, 109 miles, that may be a little long. So if you put in 40, that's 54. That might not be bad. How about 45? 45 lap race might be okay for Darlington. You know, just play around with it. But try and come up with somewhere around 60 for the most part. Sometimes the little Legends races that we do, we make those less than 60 miles because that's a lot on a small track. So, you know, just kind of use your judgment. Once you've got the race laps all filled in, the next thing we want to come up with is when are we going to have our pit stops? I've got this set up. Let's say in Charlotte, we're going to be running a 40 lap race and we want to have a pit stop a little bit over halfway. So when they go in and fill up, they'll be sure to have enough fuel to end. If you went to 20 laps, you know, they may or may not make it. So let's say we wanted to do maybe 25 or 30 laps. Let's say 25. So right here is where you put in your fuel laps. If you put in 25 in here, hit enter, this calculates the percentage of fuel figure that I need to set up the race in iRacing, because it doesn't want to know how many laps you want to run. It wants to know what percentage of fuel you use, or fuel, you know, that you start with. So, and that's makes it real simple to figure that. You go down here, we have a 45 lap race, maybe 30 would be good for Darlington. Oops, I don't have a number yet for Darlington. If you get this, that means that I haven't gotten around to running those laps and figuring that out, so we won't race at Darlington. Let's go to something we got like Indianapolis for race number 3. And Indianapolis, probably about 25 miles. Yeah, there's 62. 25, so let's say we want to go half is 12. If we went 15 laps on fuel, that would be a 42%er. And so that's how you figure that. The only other thing is if you wanted a night race, if you want cautions off, just put, you know, type in off in here so that I'll know it and put it in the race when I set it up. If you want a night race, you know, maybe at Homestead, just type in yes. And if there's some setup, like especially for the Corvette, that you want to use for each race, just type it over here. If you want to use Daytona. Oops. If I can spell. Just enter that in if you want something out of the ordinary. And there's a place for comments down here if you have something you want to tell me. Just type it in down there. And that's it. This thing is set up to calculate the fuel, you know, the race miles to help you figure out how long of a race, and try and keep them, you know, even numbers divisible by 5, the lap races. You know, don't want a 26.5-mile race. Once that's all done, and you've make sure that you've got a copy left, you want to go up here and click this little disc. That'll save it. Or just go up here, come down and click save, and that'll save to your worksheet, you know, season 214 demo. And that's it. That's how it works. Just make sure everything in orange is filled out when you get finished, just shoot this back to me in email, and I'll take it, and then I'll plug it into the race, and we'll be racing. That's it. See you guys.